Hello and welcome back to Reid Talks, the #1 talk show in this time slot on this channel. Today, I am talking about a book I just finished reading. The book is by Brenda Maddox and it's called Rosalind Franklin, the Dark Lady of DNA. The book talks about the life of scientist Rosalind Franklin, who co-discovered the structure of DNA, which is a double helix, I might add. The story starts at the beginning of Franklin's life as a young girl and shows her to grow to be a powerful woman. The beginning of the book, her life before her King's College research, is surprisingly in-depth and interesting. The book talks a lot about sexism women faced during that time. For example, at the university she went to, women were not allowed to receive a degree. They also had separate dining halls. In her early school years, boys and girls from opposite schools were not allowed to interact. Many people, including her own father, wouldn't let women work at their businesses. Despite all of this, Franklin still managed to become a very successful researcher, with many of her research being published in highly esteemed journals. I've asked her brother Colin Franklin, who is a biographer, to come on the show to tell us a little bit more about his sister Rosalind Franklin. Welcome to the show, Colin.
Thank you for having me.
You and Rosalind were quite close, correct?
Out of all the siblings, the 5 of us, Rosalind and I were the closest. I would visit her in France, and we would constantly write letters back and forth to update one another on our lives.
Did the book portray Rosalind accurately, in your opinion?
The book did a fantastic job at showing who my sister really was. She was not the caricature portrayed in The Double Helix, and Maddox did a wonderful job at portraying my sister as intelligent, determined, beautiful, and friendly. Anyone who is close with Rosalind would say the same. Many might think my family was intimidated by a female being smarter than everyone else, but in fact, besides some distant relatives, most people were proud of what my sister was able to accomplish. I was always in awe of what my sister could do. She was a force to be reckoned with once she set her mind to something. She was one of the most hard-working individuals I've ever known.
Looking back, was the sexism quite as bad as the book portrayed?
There was certainly sexism back then. Those were the times. So when I was young and Rosalind and I started becoming closer, I became more aware of how people treated us differently. That was just when I was with her. She never spoke of any of this while in France or at King's. If anyone was able to persevere through all that, though, it was definitely my sister.
That sounds amazing. How did your sister enjoy France?
If I recall, Rosalind enjoyed France more than she did England. She was in love with the culture and the people over there. After the war, Paris wasn't as hit as hard as London, and Rosalind hated all the destruction left by the bombs. When she got the offer from King's, she contemplated not going up until she left. She was doing some groundbreaking research in France with X-ray diffraction that she loved. She also loved her co-workers and her co-researchers. She got along with everyone in France.
Wow, thanks for coming to talk to us today, Colin.
Thank you for having me.
That's the end of this episode, but the discussion is not over. On the next episode, we will be talking with James Watson on his and Rosalind Franklin's research at King's College. Make sure to tune in next week at the same time. Good night.